Times when you are working with a builder, a lot of things can happen. So I'm going to share with you today how some delays created chaos for one of our clients. But let me give you a little bit backstory. So when you are working with a builder, the builder uses their own contracts, made up by their own attorneys, and they are builder friendly, meaning they can delay, they can terminate, they can do anything and everything to get out of the contract if they wanted to. But if a buyer delays or wants to terminate or cancel, then they lose money, especially if the buyer, let's say, isn't ready financing wise or closing day wise, then the builder can charge them a lot of money per day just to extend, or they can just terminate and put it back on the market, right? So today we had a closing for one of our VIP clients, but Monday, which was 2 days ago, we got an email. Just they moved the closing date to like 10 days later, like the 23rd, I believe, or something like that. And it was like, I contacted my buyers. I'm like, did y'all request this? They're like, no, what's going on? I said, I don't know. Let me find out. I'm on it. So I'm doing a lot of things. The sales rep is on vacation, which I understand. She has somebody who is helping her out, who was great, by the way. But the title company, I reached out first and I asked them what was this for. They're like, the builder did it. I'm like, okay. Did they say why? They're like, no. They're like, oh, hold on. Yes, they did. There was a leak, a plumbing leak, and I'm like, holy shit. So, what do? I jump in my car and I go because I need to see what kind of plumbing leak this is, to ensure that it gets fixed the right way and it's just not a big cover up job. So, as I'm going to the house that my client is buying, I called the lender. I called the lender and I'm like, hey, this is getting delayed because of XYZ. When do the buyer's interest rate lock expires? He's like, oh yeah, that puts us behind. I'm like, cool. Find out how much because we're not paying for it. My client's not paying for it. The builder will pay for it. And he's like, yeah, we'll get with management. Usually we can handle these things. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Cool. So as I'm going to this house, I arrive and I'm like, I'm looking around. They're still running water, so it can't be that big of a plumbing leak. And I'm like, walking the entire house. There's painters there doing the touch up minor things right before closing. And I'm just like, where is this plumbing leak? Well, finally got a hold of the builder and some other things, and it was under a sink, and they got to wait for it to dry out. Then they got to replace the cabinet, and that's why they needed 10 days. I'm like, well, this isn't going to work, guys. I was like, you have to understand, my clients are very busy, but not only that, they're about to be homeless come Monday because the landlord let them out of their lease early. If they could, she got it rented quickly, they were fine, and so they did. And so I told them, this isn't going to happen. I need it to have push. I need it to happen on time or the latest by Monday, not past that. And so we're waiting patiently. I let my buyers know. Obviously, their hearts are broken and destroyed. And they're looking at their schedule and they're like, we can't do it. We can't do this and that because of timing and work and everything else in the world, right? And I had to remind them. I'm like, remember when we first met? The builder contract has no closing date because it's up to them when they want to close. I said, so we're going to have to try to make things happen, but let me see what I can do to ensure we get it closed sooner than you being homeless. So talking with the sales rep who's covering for the one on vacation, who was amazing, great communication. Obviously, nothing that she can do or control, but we're just in communication all the time, trying to get this push, trying to get it to, reminding them, hey, they're about to be homeless. We don't want this to happen. This is my second home closing with your builder this week. Like, come on, guys, we can get it. And I know in the past, builders can make things happen, the snap of their fingers, right? A lot of these times they have their contracts on speed dial, get over here, do this, or they need a rob Peter to pay Paul kind of situation. They go take a part or a door or something away from the other house, put it on this one, button it up and get it done. But at the end of the day, We made it happen. We closed today. Now, it won't fund till tomorrow till some of these repairs are done, but we got it closed and it's all going to be done tomorrow. And the reason why I want to share this, because when you're working with a professional like our team, right, with myself, and who's been in this industry for a long time and knows what to look for, how to communicate with the builders, because there was no yelling, there was no cussing, there was no distraught, anything. It was very professional. Phone, in-person visit, emails. I mean, we have like 40 emails between the title, the builder, the lender, the closing department of the builder, myself, the buyers, like a 40 email chain that just happened in the past 24 hours to get it done. Because even the title company was like, okay, well, since they moved it, we booked somebody else and we have no room to. I was like, cool, send them over notary, do something. They're like, no, we need to do it in house, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, let's make it happen. Squeeze this in. I can close them and you just notarize it. Like, hey, have a notary there. I can explain every single doc to them if I needed to. But title company was great. They made it happen. They squeezed this in a closet, basically, just a smaller room than their normal closing. And we were able to get it closed for our VIP client, who I'm super happy for, super excited for. And tomorrow we get to go do the final walk of just these minor repairs that they said they'll have buttoned up, get their keys, and then they can do anything and everything they want, right? But like I mentioned, you need to hire somebody, and this is why it's important who you work with matters, to one, keep their cool, know how to communicate with all parties and keep it professional, while looking out for the best interest of your client, and who can just make things happen because they have that experience, they have that knowledge, they have that professionalism to get it done. And everybody was professional: builder, title, sales rep, lender, everybody was. And we all pulled together to make it happen for our buyers so that they're not homeless. So, guys, if you're buying a new construction home, pre-existing, if you need a commercial building, land, commercial lease, anything like that, please interview the agents and understand and ask some questions. Interview them. Just don't go based off of what other people say, and make sure they are looking out for your best interest to get the job done for you and or your family. Reach out anytime, guys.